Yee-Haw, adventurers. So a long time ago I decided to join a one-shot for a Call of Cthulhu campaign, and it turned into the quickest I've ever introduced my character's insides to the great open world because boy, oh boy, did the dice simply not like us. I got roped in by my then roommate to play a game for our college's local radio station and thought it sounded cool. Me and two other guys showed up and it was looking pretty good. Pre-generated character sheets, some snacks, and a spooky abandoned building that the radio show was left to record in. So, allow me to set the scene and the ambiance.
A dark and stormy night overtakes a humble little town by the cove. It used to be a pretty peaceful place 20 years ago from what we heard. Then again, so was everywhere else back when we were young. This town had a history stretching as far back as anyone could remember. With history came its own little demons that liked to nip at strangers' heels when they weren't looking. The port used to be filled with all kinds of ships and valuable trade, but sadly it's fallen on hard times. A lot of good folk lost their livelihood, and the deluge of constant storms and neglect made the place a husk of what it once was. Poor Greendale. You were beautiful once. Sadly, I'm not God, so I can't fix the weather. Instead, me and my team of two others are detectives that were sent here to investigate a string of monstrous murders. You'd think something like an animal attack would be handled by animal control, but nah. They say it's a serial killer. I've seen all kinds of sick bastards in this line of work. And trust me when I say, we'll find who did this, and happily take the paperwork with putting this sicko down in the ground.
So there you have it. Me and others were detectives sent to investigate a string of horrible murders in a once golden trade town that's fallen on hard times. The moment we got there, things were already going downhill. The local police had nothing and were used to an easy, slow life of petty crimes that they had no idea how to deal with what was in front of them. What witnesses we had were telling tall tales of a giant bird that swooped in and ripped people apart. CCTV? In these distant storms, we might as well have asked a 3-year-old to draw their best monster and used it as a point of reference. So we were shit out of luck, shit out of options, and the storm was still going around town, so investigations of the murder sites would be hell. But we did what we could. We examined bodies and tried with our last witness, an old man. In true Cthulhu fashion, he gave us quite a good chunk of lore about the town, something about worshipping the old gods, angering our dear patrons, and now paying the consequences until we appease them. Okay, interesting. I had to quickly inquire as to why this man was not in a straitjacket with his bullshit. The officer shrugged and said he was a harmless old man. My god, the people we were working with were literally capping out at rent-a-cop levels of giving a shit about their job. So the search was on. The search for whatever the hell was killing these people. Night was quickly approaching and the storm was only getting worse. So my team and I got put up at a local hotel where we pooled our collective knowledge about what the hell could be going on. Sadly, no one had any clue. The serial killer had no MO, there was no distinct calling card, and to the uninitiated it would have seemed like just another animal attack. But we had different theories. Then it happened. I decided to head to our room as my companions were using a conference room just down the hall. I wanted to grab a suitcase with some other case files we were looking into. I opened the door and immediately lost a bunch of sanity as this humanoid/bird-like creature of bone and black flesh was destroying our room. You're not by chance room service, are you? Oh, fuck! I immediately shut the door and screamed, "Guys, something's fucking here!" Failing what I think was a strength or fortitude or something save. It's been a while since I played Call of Cthulhu, but basically I tried to hold the door back, but as it was breaking, I failed and started to run to the conference room. My guys drew their guns and took aim, but another failed check and the creature was on top of me. Within an instant, it killed me. It basically pulled an Alien vs. Predator, tearing out my spine and flying through one of the windows with it.
Why are we still here?
Well, guess I'm dead? I asked the DM as he nodded, looking at me sadly. I stuck around and wanted to see what happened next, and I realized there was just a gruesome murder I had described. The following events can only be told with a certain theme song to them. Cue the music?
Holy shit, he's dead!
What do we do?
Let's go tell the police chief!
That's a good idea.
My two companions got into their cars and immediately ran a red light. Almost instantaneously, a cop tries to pull them over, and they stop, thank goodness. When they do explain that they're detectives and show their badge numbers, the cop doesn't believe them, and so the next best course of action running through their minds pops up. and they decide to speed away, because surely the chief of police will believe them. Cue a police chase. Then all of a sudden the bird monster comes back and he's trying to harass them from the sky. They run over a fire hydrant, 2 guys on the sidewalk, a fruit stand, a lamppost, a newspaper stand, a couple windows, and somehow avoid running over a stop sign of all things. They start firing their guns wildly in the air at the creature and at the now 5 cop cars chasing them, until finally the driver misses a bridge. A giant bridge, and goes flying into a ditch, killing both of them on impact.
So did we lose?
One guy asked. The DM explains that we weren't supposed to roll that terribly, and without backup pre-gen sheets, yeah, we lose. We lost, and the town is overtaken by some fishy cultists and a bird monster at their side. Oops. That was one of my only experiences playing Call of Cthulhu. I love the game mode and its sanity system and really wanted to play more, but that's gotta be the quickest downward spiral I have ever seen in a game whatsoever. I mean, oh my god. It really just went downhill the moment we stepped into that city. And those pre-gen character sheets were pretty cool too. Anyways, that was pretty much the fastest game of Call of Cthulhu I've ever been in. I want to hear your stories about Call of Cthulhu if any of you have ever played it. Feel free to post them down below in the comments or talk about it in our Discord. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out our other vids, and I hope you have fun in your future D&D games. D&D is a great game, and I got hundreds of other experiences that I want to share. Remember to roll those perception checks for the next one, and happy hunting, adventurers.